Hello, YouTube land, and welcome to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 56. I am your host, Dantes, and of course, joining me, like always, Caleones. How you doing, Caleones?
Hey, how you doing, Dantes? How you doing, everybody? And I want to say I'm sorry because you see me with this big headset. It's supposed to be just the gaming headset, but my other one broke, so I had to resort to this one. So that's why I'm gonna be looking all weird, like I'm driving one of those Ace Combat, airplanes. But yeah, Dantes, go ahead and take it away because we have so many things to talk about today, surprisingly. And of course, we had the direct, so we're gonna be covering that, but other things, other topics. So. Take it away, Dantes.
So, I want to shout out quickly to Anthony, what up? Video Gamer, what up? Catastrophe, what is up? Toys and More Club, what is up? PSV Xbox, what is up? RG, what is up? What is up? Everybody, what is up? But let's start with the rigmarole quickly so we can start with the show because we got a lot of topics again today, Caleones, and there's a lot of hot topics, so let's go with it. I want to welcome everybody to the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 56, right here at the Force In Unison gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two mother effers happy. Also remember, if you don't want to see ugly faces, we got a solution for you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Right us over there so you can show up some love. Go to the description box below so you can see the full channel schedule. Remember, tomorrow, PlayStation Mondays. And, of course, the rest of the week, we got Nintendo Wednesdays and Fortnite Fridays. Also, go to our Facebook page called @Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and get some clicks and love to my boy, Caleones. With all that said, are you guys ready? I said, are you ready? Yeah. For the no one in attendance and the 10 people watching around the world, let's get ready for Reggie's Hot Topics of the Week.
My body is ready.
My body is ready, and Caleones, a lot of hot topics today. So take it away.
Okay, so we're going to be starting with the biggest one, and that is, of course, Nintendo's Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Direct, which came out this past week. We were talking about it previously before the announcement. Yes, I said that I was tired of having so many news about Smash that they had extreme coverage when it came to E3. They kind of like oversold it. People are gonna buy it anyways, and that enough was enough. That they could just dedicate the time for other games. But I'm here to say that this direct was actually better than the E3 segment for Smash. It sold the game better. It showed other things better. And it introduced a couple of other characters, new characters, especially one that is gracing our thumbnail. So that's going to be the main attraction from the new characters that were announced. So Dantes, how do you feel about the direct? Are you okay with it? Were you not? Did you change your thoughts after seeing it? Let us know.
Okay, so you want to do a quick rundown on the direct? I don't know. I think the article that I sent you had the rundown. So I don't know if you want to go with the rundown first.
Okay, so basically, Simon Belmont was announced as a character. Richard Belmont was announced as an Echo as well. The biggest reveal out of all of them, and it was one of the Okie doke type deals that Nintendo did at the end. That was King K. Rule or King Kong Rule or King Cruel, however it is that you want to call them. But yeah, that was the biggest surprise out of all of them. We're going to have Dark Samus as well on this one. And I'm missing one more character out of all of them. So it's going to be Crum from Fire Emblems as well. They're going to have many more stages announced. They did announce a couple of new stages. And my personal favorites, of course, was the one from Mario Odyssey, how the tune of the music and everything plays out when you're while you're fighting. But the biggest reveal out of everything was that The game is gonna have now over 70 plus characters that you can use if you count the echo characters as well. It's gonna have more than 300 stages, and is gonna have more than 800 or 900 tunes, music that for the game. So it is the ultimate edition of the game. And not only that, when it comes to the music, you can actually use the Nintendo Switch as a kind of like a media player where you don't have to have the screen of the Switch on. You can just turn it off and you can still listen to the music while if you have a headphone plugged into it. So that's going to be pretty awesome, especially with so many music coming from it. And I mean it was pretty big. They showed a couple of items, how you control the Pokeball, assist trophies, things like that. But of course, you cannot take it away. The biggest announcement, of course, aside from the 300 stages, 800 plus music, and the 70 plus characters was for me personally King K. Rool. So that's kind of like the gist of what was announced in those 25 minutes or so from the direct.
So I'm showing a little bit of a kind of like a collage of all the new characters. Thank you to Pro Safia Gaming, who did an awesome video, kind of showing all the new characters in a compilation, so which is awesome. And that's where you're seeing now the bad guy from Donkey Kong right now fighting. Okay, so thank you for that summary, Caleones. To me, I wasn't that impressed with the direct. Yeah, again, none of the characters talked to me. But because again, in Smash, in a sense, you have your favorites, right? I already had my characters. I'm gonna play as Link from Breath of the Wild. I'm gonna play as Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles. I'm still hoping Rex does show up because, in a sense, originally there was a lot of statements going around that there were not gonna be new characters, but now we're seeing that there are putting some new characters. So maybe that means that we're gonna get more new characters down the road. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Right,
supposedly they said that they're not done yet, so we're probably going to see more.
Exactly. So hopefully that's the case, Caleones. I'm showing again the collage, but as if it was better or not, I don't know. I think the direct was too soon. I still I'm in the camp that this should have been done October, something to that extent, closer to release, November maybe. And didn't show anything to make you excited more for Smash, in my opinion. The excitement is already there in the sense that this is Smash Ultimate. You know that it's going to be every Smash character ever here, plus new characters, plus all the stages. So they're making the biggest Smash of all time. Awesome, which is fine. You got your sell point. But what they did at E3 should have still been in its own direct. And this one here, they didn't show so much the mechanics. They showed some of what they're adding, but they didn't show the mechanics per se. So again, mix with what you did on the E3 with this direct, then you would have a bigger one. I believe that I prefer the way that they hype Smash originally, which was, every month or weekly, I don't remember, you would get a kind of like a release of a new Smash character, and that was the excitement. Oh, who's coming out today? Oh my God. So they show all those new characters, like Simon Belmont, and that should have been its own small trailer release, create the hype, boom, you're done. And you could have done that every month as you come through, because they're not going to have that many new characters, I believe, since they're making the biggest Smash of all time, right? But admittedly, I think it's good to have Simon Belmont there. I played the original Castlevania. Everybody played it in the NES and Super NES. So, me and Caleones both played the original Castlevania. So we like Castlevania. I wasn't never a huge fan, but I thought it was fun. And it was one of those games next to Ninja Gaiden that you would be playing if you had an NES. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, Contra. Everybody, no matter what, if you had an NES, you play those type of games, right? So it's good to have them. So, but I guess to finish my thoughts, maybe a little bit all over the place, but to finish my thoughts, I thought it was okay. Nothing to be excited. I would prefer that they would kind of hype it up the way they did it last time with Smash. You already have your sales point with this match, which is this is the biggest match of all time. Anything to add, Caleones?
Well, I mean, okay, so When I say, I mean, I really like the direct. It's based on it by itself and comparing it to the one that we already had. I will agree with you that it is probably too soon to have another direct. I know that Smash Brothers fans they're gonna say, I mean they just want to devour all the information and just get as much as possible. But a better release for it, like you said, would have been kind of like to hype it up before the game's release. And we're gonna have Pokemon Let's Go releasing in mid-November. So after Pokemon Let's Go releases and before December 7, when Smash Bros. Ultimate releases, that probably would have been the time to announce the direct. But I know that I mean, of course, one of the biggest things is we're gonna get an amiibo for every single character on Smash, and some of those
Which is the
amiibos are
next
gonna be
news.
making a return. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, which we're covering on here. So yes, I'm gonna be jumping all over King Kong Rules or King K Rules amiibo. Hopefully, it's gonna be as big as the Bowser ones that we already have. But yes, it's about the timing. That's about the only questionable thing. But I believe that this direct specifically sold the game better than the one at E3 because the one at E3 it just felt like it dragged on and on and on, and this one did a better job when it came to the pacing and not feeling dragged on.
Yep. Okay. Understood. Let's go with the next one so we can start closing the book on Smash.
Okay, and yeah, which I already mentioned. The next one it was about the new the five new characters that were announced. Each one of them were going to be receiving amiibo figures, and as well as all the previous ones are going to be making a return. So if you had a hard time getting any of those amiibo figures when the game comes out, they're going to be kind of like trickling back again. So you will be able to get your hands on them. So yeah, for those of you that are big collectors and such. That's going to be the best chance for you to get a hold of them. And I know I mean, probably like 30 figures short of the total amount. So I will be trying to see if I can get them as well.
Okay. I don't think I'm gonna say it because I want to go quick with this one. I mean, do we still are we still excited for amiibos? I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of done with them, Caleones. Officially, I don't think I'm buying another amiibo unless they bring Rex and Pyra. maybe you push me. Maybe I get a little push. But aside from that, I don't think I'm buying any amiibos, Caleones. How do you feel? You still gonna get those amiibos?
I mean, if they, I'm gonna try to get them. I'm gonna try to go back and collect a couple of the ones that I'm missing as well. Of course, I gotta run this by my wife because amiibos they're not really cheap. They're gonna be in between 12.99 and 14.99 for the biggest one. So it's gonna get expensive. Try to collect them all. But if they release Rex, if they release Pyra, if they release Mitra, and they release all the cast from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, including the ones from Torna, the Golden Country, I'm gonna be obligated to get every single one of them. So, I mean, I'm sorry, wife. That's a must buy for me, and I'll get them if they have them.
We
We
shall
shall
see.
see.
Oh, why am I
Yeah.
hearing Echo?
Echo.
Yep, Echo. Uh,
Echo gone.
yeah, hearing you once is enough. Twice a little too much.
Yeah, I think yeah, I had a small issue here, but we're good. Go ahead with the next news, Calion.
Okay, and the next one is that our fears hopefully won't be coming true because Sakurai said that if there is demand for more Smash Brothers games, he will continue to work on them. And the demand is not going to stop. And I fear for him because I mean, if you saw the direct and you saw him, and he did say, "Hey, everyone, I was really tired when I filmed the video. That's why you're going to see me with the red eyes." And I mean, he looks really tired on that video. I hope that once the game releases, he's going to take a big break for months, and he's going to be away with his family, loved one, and everybody, and just get away from the game because he needs some rest. I mean, he basically is putting to shame all those other game developers that are cutting content from their games just so they can be sold on DLC and things like that. By releasing the ultimate version of Smash. So now he is setting the bar. He's raising the bar when it comes to game content, and let's see what other companies do. But the man deserves a big, long rest.
Uh, in a sense, I'm happy that he's gonna continue Caleones, but in a sense, I would also like to see Smash evolve and become the next Breath of the Wild. And I kind of like we talked on the previous episode, Get In and Get Out, so you can see it right here. I wish that he would give the baton to someone else and see what other developers could do with the IP. But if he's willing to do it, Nintendo keeps wanting him to come back. Oh, we're fine with that. It's just I don't know where else he will go with the next Smash. I guess is the biggest question that I would ask.
Yeah. Though the problem set with this one is that now everybody's going to be expecting that every single character is going to be there and just continue to add more and more characters. I think the next one has to be a shorter roster, but have single player storylines for each one of them. So it has to be a shorter roster. I mean, we were already gotten glimpses of maybe adventure mode, the way that some of the last characters have been introduced. It feels like there's an adventure mode, and that's one of the things about the Castlevania one. You have the monsters, you have Dracula, you have specific stages where you battle them, and it feels like an adventure mode. So I'm not sure. Maybe it's coming back on this. I know that they teased the menu, and there was the green button. They haven't exactly shown what it is that is going to be there. But I believe it is the adventure mode coming back to Smash. If they do it, that will be awesome. But don't expect it to be for all 70 plus characters. To have one, it's probably going to be a couple of a couple of the characters, or maybe a collection of the characters like you saw in the videos. It was like 3 or 4 characters together. So you had like on this one, Donkey Kong, you had Diddy Kong, you had King Dedede and King K. Rool all together. Maybe there's going to be a storyline with them all together, or maybe it's going to be separately. Who knows? But for the next one, it's probably will be a shorter roster and adventure mode for each one of the characters on the roster.
We shall see, Caleones. We shall see. Go ahead with the next, because this match was huge, and of course, a lot of news came out of it. We'll come up with the next one.
Okay, well, the next one is the announcement from Nintendo of Europe about the Smash Brothers Ultimate Collection, which is going to include the game. It's going to include the GameCube controller and the adapter, so you can connect the controller as well. They haven't exactly announced this for the US yet, but if it's going to be available in Europe, and if they make it available over here, it's going to sell out in probably as soon as it goes online. So that's going to be one of the biggest ones. So be on the lookout if you want to have be able to own that collection. Like I said, be on the lookout. Keep your ears on the internet, and as soon as it goes online, jump on it, because it won't be available for long.
Are you gonna get it, Caleones?
It all depends. I mean, I really do want to get it. The only thing is that I don't know. I think I'm past having wired controllers. So the only setup that I won't like is having, being able to sit on my couch, to play the game, and then you have the wired controller and the adapter connected to the Switch unit. I just want to be more comfortable. So I'll probably just use the Pro controller with the game.
Well, I mean, you and I are casual Smash players, so it's not like we need the GameCube controller. I think that's more for pros, honestly.
Yeah.
So
we're also older with families, and we have less time to play. And
yeah, I won't get all the perfections. To me, Smash is just put all the items there. Whoever gets the first Smash ball and uses their final Smash, that's the fun of it, in my opinion. But pro players, they take it really seriously. Of course, they take the time to play with their GameCube controller. They play with no items, and stuff like that. So it is what it is. Joking aside, it looks like a good collection. If you want to try it out and find it, hey, go for it. But I don't think me and Caleones are going to go find it. Go ahead, Caleones, with the next one.
Okay, so we're going to be moving over from Smash, and we're going to be talking about one of our main topics. This is the second one.
Luigi died. You forgot Luigi.
Well, okay, yeah, so it's everybody forgot. No, we don't have to
no. Come on, give some respect to the Green Plumber here. Come on.
Okay, it was a little overblown, but on the segment about the Castlevania characters like Richard and Belmont, they showed Luigi in the mansion, and I guess what it turned out to be Dracula's mansion, and he was actually killed during that segment. At the end of it, they showed his ghost trying to go back into the body, but we don't know if he made it safely or not. At least through the video, but that's when Twitter exploded. And I mean, the big news publications were even covering it that Luigi was killed officially, but Nintendo had to release a statement, and they said that Luigi is okay, he is alive and well, and he didn't die. So that tells you that Luigi is somebody that a lot of people care for, and that perhaps maybe they should finally decide to add him to Mario Odyssey. But that's what I got from it. That the demand is there for the green plumber. So what was your reaction to it?
So to me, my reaction is this is the perfect segue to go into Luigi's Mansion 3. You start, Luigi is as a ghost. The professor comes and trying to suck him in with the vacuum, saves him, tells Luigi as a ghost form, you need to cash the 7 deadly ghosts. And then if you cash all the 7 deadly ghosts, it will open the portal to the human realm. And then you can get your ghost back into your human body. And then Luigi's back in action. So to me, Nintendo, it sells itself. Luigi's Mansion 3, Dracula's Mansion. Oh, baby. That's where you need to catch the 7 deadly ghosts. And then, of course, the last ghost is going to be Dracula. You need to catch him with the vacuum. Boom, you defeat him. Luigi gets back to the portal. He's back to his human body, Caleones. Money. What is up? What it up, cool drummer? Money right there. Nintendo, call me. Hire me. I can write your next Luigi's Mansion 3 for you and help you develop it and everything, of course. Perfect chance, Caleones. Perfect chance for Luigi's Mansion 3.
Yeah, and this comes from a man that's really passionate about Luigi's Mansion. I mean, that sounds like an exceptional idea. Hopefully, they're going to be incorporating, other games, like you said, even Castlevania monsters on a Luigi's Mansion game. That'll be kind of like the perfect combination of different franchises to go with. Maybe that's the next evolution for Luigi's Mansion to incorporate other games as well. Who knows? Hopefully that's going to happen. But at least it was cool to see him in that form. I know that everybody got scared when he was killed, but rest assured, Luigi is alive and well. He will be returning when Nintendo decides to put him on one of his games, I guess.
Yeah, on Luigi's Mansion 3. Anyway, thank you, cool drummer. Thank you. You're right. I should get higher. Go ahead, Caleones. I think now we're officially done with all the Smash news, and we're going to get into a controversial topic. We'll see where Caleones and I stand on this, but go ahead, Caleones. Take it away.
Okay, so on this topic, we're going to be drawing a clear line on the ground. I'm going to see if Dantes is going to be coming over to my side where I'm standing, or if he's going to be on his and he can convince me to cross over to his side. And the topic the second big topic that we have is that Nintendo has sued 2 companies online, which they have Nintendo ROMs. They are companies that they talk about, the preservation of games. Nintendo wants to take them off completely. And this goes into the big topic about how do you preserve games if game companies are not allowing other companies to either keep the ROMs, save save the ROMs, store them. We had certain cases before where there's games that you cannot find anymore, but with Nintendo specifically, and of course like being one of the big 3 when it comes to the main publishers of games. On what side are you? What do you have to say about this, Dantes?
You go first.
I go first.
Yep.
Okay. So, my reply to this is big whoopity doo to those game companies. Nintendo, they created those ROMs, they created those games, they have the right, they have the ownership of those IPs. If they want to allow other companies to have them, great. If they don't want to allow other companies not to have control over them, then so be it. It is theirs to do what they want to do with it. And that goes with, just owning the ROMs or not owning them. It is not yours because you did not make them. Same as you have your own business. Do you want somebody else coming into your business and telling you how to run your business, or that they can do a better job at your business than you? No, because it is your business. You run it how you want to. If the business is successful, great. If it's not, you yourself tried and ran with it. So don't tell Nintendo what to do with it. Maybe, I mean, you can find better alternatives on how to go about it, but just having, ROMs on the internet where there's a lot of piracy, and you can say that more than 50%. I'm just throwing stats out there. I'm not sure, but I feel like more than 50% of the people that are complaining about this are people that will never buy the game or have never bought the games, and they just want to pirate the games to have them for free. So that's my take on it.
Okay. I know you can't see me because I lost my my video feed. I was doing a emotional pause there, kind of like Philip. um, okay. The reason I asked you to go first is because I am not in either side. What I mean with this is that I understand both sides. But okay, I'll put it this way. Let me put both sides. So I understand the preservation of games. There's a lot of games that you cannot get anymore. It's hard to find them. I believe that doesn't hurt anyone. You're not making any money out of those games. A lot of those games are not owned by Nintendo. They're owned by other publishers. So other publishers, if they feel strongly that they need to preserve those games, they should be the one coming out. But also, there's a lot of publishers that are dead. The patent has gone away. You don't own those games anymore. So because the publishers are dead, they're not going to re-release those games. ROMs are a good way to play the history of video games, and kids will miss out because ROMs won't exist anymore. Will miss out on the past of the game. I understand your point, Caleones. Some people abuse ROMs and they get newer games, newer generations. But I do believe, Caleones, in honesty, up to maybe N64, who cares? Who cares? Really, it doesn't hurt anybody. So I understand game preservation. Now, let's go back to Nintendo side. Nintendo owns a lot of those IPs, and they feel that because they own them, they have the right to sell them, manage them the way they see fit. It's the same struggle. When I give you an example, 1998, Metallica sued Napster. Long, ugly battle that really hurt Metallica's reputation because, Metallica is seen as a famous metal band that has a lot of money. Why in the hell would you care what's going on with downloading your music for free on Napster? What they were saying is that they were the artists. They had the right to sell their work because it is your work. So in this sense, same approach. Nintendo, feel big company, makes a lot of money, making a lot of money right now. Feel that they should take ownership of their work and how they sell them. Okay? So I put two sides there side by side. But here's where, again, Nintendo, and it's frustrating with Nintendo sometimes, Caleones, because Nintendo makes really good games, but it is the same with the YouTube issue, right? Nintendo could be on a spot and say, look, we own this work, but it is good business to let YouTubers stream our games, play our games, because it gives us promotion, it gives us visibility to other gamers, new games, and stuff like that. Nintendo has the right to do what they're doing, sounds like, because it looks like they're winning. But at the same time, Nintendo should not be doing it as a good faith for the customer, Caleones, for their fans, because it really hurts their fans when they take this archaic approach to stuff like this. So why am I bringing that example? Because Nintendo and Microsoft have games too and ROMs, but they're not the one going after those people, right? Xbox now more than ever could be, in theory, be the first ones to be going out after people, but they don't go after people and ROMs and stuff like that, Caleones. But they have Game Pass. More than ever, Xbox should be the kind of like the ones. Xbox, in my opinion, has a system closer in place for game reservation where you could put all those games in a server, ROM type. You pay an access monthly. You get the $10 a month, whatever, but you have access to all these games, Caleones. What Nintendo is doing, again, archaic way of thinking, is going after these companies, but with no solution in place for all these games preservation, all this stuff. There's no solution in place at all. They're just going after them for the sake of going after them. But what do they win? They're still going to sell the games. Their fans are still going to buy the games. Is it really worth alienating a lot of fans who still buy your games, but they feel that they can get ROMs for Super NES for games that they cannot find anymore because it's hard to find them, Caleones? Is it worth it? That's my opinion. It's like, do you show good faith and just let it go until you have a proven system in place where people would say, oh, you're putting NES games with multiplayer features, with online multiplayer? Okay, I don't need the ROM. I'm gonna go to your side and play or buy your games, right, Caleones? So my whole point to that, I know it's a hot topic, but my whole point to that is that Nintendo, a lot of people, they kiss Nintendo ass because they're the most consumer friendly in the world. Nintendo is not the most consumer friendly in the world, not even close. I am sorry, Caleones. They tend to hurt their own fan base with stupid ass decisions. And to me, even though I understand their point, and even though I understood Metallica's point a lot of years ago, it was still the wrong side to choose because it will not hurt your bottom line at all, and you're showing good faith to the people who have supported you for many, many years, right? But to clarify, I'm saying that Nintendo is not consumer friendly. Sony is not consumer friendly. Microsoft is not consumer friendly. They're here to make a buck. I'm just saying that Nintendo's decisions typically tend to be the most archaic ones out of the big three. That's what I'm saying. And this is showing you exactly that, because Microsoft and Sony has a lot that they could go after people when they have systems in play like PS Now, which suck, and Game Pass, where they could say, no, I don't want any more. Nintendo doesn't have anything to be doing this. So anyway, really hard for me where I'm at. The only thing that I can say is that I believe Nintendo is in the wrong because they're not gaining anything for what they're doing.
Okay, so I'm guessing by you going quiet, it means that it's my turn to talk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
well,
so
unless you want to refute anything that I stated, because I know I speak for a long time. You can refute. We don't have to see eye to eye. Just saying.
Okay, so well, I guess I'm gonna stand more in the middle.
You went off, I think.
No, I'm saying like I made a pause because I'm thinking how to rephrase it, but okay. I understand your point. I know how, like companies are here to make a dollar. I know that Nintendo could be doing a lot better on YouTube and on certain and other things as well. But one of the issues that I have is that if you're going to be, for game preservation, if you're going to be for storing ROMs and things like that, don't have games like A Link to the Past that they're available currently that you can get and download and play. Like, if you're going to do that, do it for games that are no longer on the market, that are not, they're not anywhere that you can get them. But having games that you can still get and play. Yes, you have a Nintendo Switch. The game's not available to play to be on this, to play on the Switch, but it is on the 3DS, it is on the Wii U, it is on the Wii. So there's still consoles available where you can get the game without having to get the original console and have to get the original cartridges and things like that. So if you're going to do that, don't do it with games available still either at retail or on the eShop. That should be something that they'll have to consider. If it's something where they can prove that the games are no longer offered for the public to be purchased, I would be okay with that. But I believe, and this is going to be something that's going to take a long time, is going to have to involve all the developers and publishers from every console ever made. And it is that maybe they need to establish something like the Smithsonian Museum for video games, and have a dedicated place where all the companies sign up and they are in charge of the preservation of games. Maybe by having something like that, instead of just having it available online, where I mean, it can fall to piracy and things like that. Maybe by establishing something official, maybe that way they will be able to do do good when it comes to the game preservation. And as far as, like I said, games not offered at retail or online for sale, then yes, those should probably be available. And I know I'm the first one to tell you that one of the games that I would go back and play, and I'm not sure if somebody knows where the game's available, please let me know, because I would love to play the Blade Runner game that came out on PC. I think it was probably like 15, 20 years ago. I always wanted to play it. I never got to play it, and now I can't find it anywhere. So, like something like that. That I've been searching online, and nobody can find it either. For something like that, yes, I will be fine for game preservation, but for something that you can still buy today, I mean, that would be overdoing it.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
bring you one point on that, Stanley. You said, so I agree, shouldn't be used for piracy. You're right, but again, I understand Nintendo's point. That's what I stated my comment before. But what do they gain? Here's what I'm gonna say. Metallica, again, bringing that example with Napster. They went after Napster. They couldn't stop downloading music, Caleones, right? But that song that was there brought them new fans, right? Because people who would never give Metallica a shot because they would not buy their CD would download our music and say, oh, let me try this old band. I'm like, oh, damn, Master of Puppets sounds really good. Oh, man, and Justice for All sounds really good. And then you could become a fan. And then you start buying all their music, all their back catalog, because you said, yo, I want to support this band. So sometimes, again, you have to turn the other way on shit that you're like, really, do I need to go after people for this? So again, yes, A Link Between Worlds, right? You say that's a current gen game or last gen, if you want to put out all 3DSs.
Oh, no, it was not A Link to the Past.
The Super NES game, or you're saying the Link Between Worlds? Sorry.
No, A Link to the Past.
Okay, so Link to the Past.
Yeah.
It's an old game.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. It's a Super NES game. Nintendo owns it. What do they gain? If a person downloads Link to the Past in a ROM and plays it, and then become a Zelda fan, and then says, oh, shit, there's a Breath of the Wild Zelda game on the Switch. I want to get the Switch. But that could happen, Caleones. That's my point. That could happen. Yes, some people use and abuse the system. I agree 100%, but you have to take the good with the bad. And sometimes to show faith to your customers, faith to your fans, faith to the people that they support you, which is something that Nintendo is severely lacking, and I get frustrated with them, how bad sometimes they treat their fan base. Trust them that they're doing the right thing with those ROMs. Trust them that they're going to spread the word of those games, so then you can come back and buy Breath of the Wild because you play Link to the Past in the Super NES ROM. That's my point. Yes, I understand where they stand. The question, why is it... Let me put it this way. I understand where they're coming from, but is it worth it? That's the question. Is it worth to go after those people and hurt the goodwill that you have had trouble earning since the N64 days, Caleones, that you're finally getting with the Switch? Because I'm sorry, the Wii was a luck, pure luck, that the casuals came and bought the system, because the numbers show you that the Wii hardcore games, Nintendo hardcore games, did not sell. This includes Skyward Sword, this includes Punch-Out, all great games that did not sell for shit on the Wii because it was a casual shovelware system. And I defend the Wii. You know I love the Wii because it had great freaking games, and that's what bothers me, pisses me off, that the Wii did not sell those hardcore games like it should have been, right? The Switch, to me, is the first Nintendo console that is attracting the hardcore fan base. in a long time. So that has been how much Nintendo's reputation has been hurt because of bad practices, Caleones, and you can't deny that. And they're finally getting the goodwill. They're finally getting third-party support because they alienated a lot of the third parties with their archaic practices in the past. And you know what I'm saying. So, again, I understand where they're coming from, but is it worth it? That's my point.
Okay, and I'm going to answer that with this. Okay, so it wasn't just Metallica that went after Napster. Afterwards, afterwards you had.
But
you had
Metallica was the
Eminem.
forefront, to clarify. So.
Yeah. But you had Eminem, you had Madonna, so get together as well and go after them. And I believe it was necessary, even if it created goodwill or ill will towards the other fans, because it made the industry change. That's when everything changed on how the music is distributed. It went from the CDs to being offered online. Now instead of having to purchase like complete albums, you could purchase individual songs as well and still gain royalties. And that also enabled them as artists to gain more royalty from their songs rather than everything going to the company itself. So it was multiple battles. It wasn't just about the piracy of the songs.
But
you
can still get you can download still music for free, Caleones, easily.
Yes, you can still do it, but they went ahead and got something in place. Like for example, like my dad, he was afraid to download anything that wasn't official, quote unquote. And everything that he downloaded, he would do it through, if it was Napster or whatever, he would do it. He would pay for it. He would not download anything for free. You and me, I'm not gonna say anything. We may or may not have gotten things for free. I don't know. Can't remember. Too long ago. But still, they found a way to change the industry as a whole. And I believe this right here that's happening is necessary. For everything that comes into for game piracy, from game preservation, from companies having access to certain games and not giving them to the public. Like one of those things. The Switch not having a virtual console. Yes, the Switch Online is coming, but they still don't have anything official in place for people that want to get those games. So this is something that hopefully people continue to talk about, that they continue to touch, and that they're going to find an official solution, something that will help everybody. It's not going to stop piracy. Those games are still going to be available for free for people that know how to find them. But as a whole, I believe it is something that needs to happen. We need to have this conversation. The consumers and the companies need to take action and find a happy medium for all of this, and a solution that's going to be something that everybody can jump on. So hopefully that will happen. And it's going to create ill will. Yes, some people are not going to be happy with it, but it needs to happen.
So the only difference I'm going to say for music, it was easy to catalog all the work of art on music to become digital distribution. In game, that's going to be tougher because game was not treated as an art until now, basically. And there's a lot of companies who went under. So, again, I understand both points, and I also understand your point that you said that maybe something will come out of it. But again, those ROMs really hurt the industry, because ROMs itself, like the industry used to think that used games would hurt the industry, and the industry has been looking the best now more than ever on sales, on software sales, on money make. You can see it on MPDs. But the cuckoo or the bad monster was use, sell games. Now, I'm not protecting GameStop because I feel their practices are crap. I'm just saying that once you sold a game, it is on the owner to do whatever they want with that game. That's my opinion on that. But this is the same deal. The industry is making money. Nintendo is making a lot of money. Is it worth it? That's my point, Caleones. Is it worth that ill will? I guess we'll find out. We'll find out. I'm just concerned that it has taken Nintendo so long to get to where they're halfway trusted. I don't think they're trusted yet. But the YouTube thing, and are the stuff that just frustrates me as hell with Nintendo. But because I like their games, I can withstand their shit. The same way with Sony. Because I like their games, I withstand their shit. Again, no company is your friend. This is something that we need to understand as gamers. You need to, if you feel something is wrong that a company is doing, criticize it. And maybe this is something to criticize Nintendo, Caleones. Maybe it is. Aside that I understand. The same way, 1998, Metallica, my favorite band, and you know how much I defended them. I understood the crap that they were getting. I understood Metallica's point, but I also understood why people were pissed at Metallica. Anyway, I think with that, let's go to the next one, Caleones.
Okay, and I'm not sure if you want to keep doing this as main topics. We can probably just do a rapid fire, with the rest of the news. We're already at 46 minutes, and I know people don't want to be here for an hour and a half, 2 hours. So the next one.
Well, let's go with the flow. Let's see how it goes. Last week was one of the weeks that we went an hour and 20-some minutes, and was one of the best get-ins and get-outs. And right now, it seems peeps have been popping here. So, we got up to all the way to 18 to 20 people watching at one point. Let's go with the flow. Let's see how it happens. Let's see how it goes. So keep going.
Okay. Well, one of the biggest things that we were talking about last week when the when the Smash Brothers Ultimate Direct was announced was that they had already done a Smash Direct for E3, that it was too soon for them to have this one, that perhaps they should have done it a week or two prior to their game's release. And something that I talked about was, instead of having the Direct, maybe they should have a Nintendo Switch Online Direct instead, since it's going to be coming out sometime next week. And lo and behold, Nintendo did release an official statement talking about Nintendo Switch Online service, and they said that it will be releasing on the second part of September. So, as part of the PR, they said the online play in games like Splatoon 2, Orange, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and Mario Tennis Aces, Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Switch Online, a selection of classic NES games, or NES games, since that's how the official pronunciation now, like Super Mario Brothers 3, The Legend of Zelda, and Dr. Mario with newly added online play, save data, cloud backup, which lets you save your game data online for accessing compatible games. This makes it easy to retrieve your game data if you lose your system or start using a new one. Plus, enhance your online experience with features available through the Nintendo Switch smartphone app and receive special offers. Nintendo Switch owners will not be automatically charged because, of course, most of those, even if you have your credit card on your shop, they are still going to give you the option to get the online or not. For those of you that only play, like games like Fortnite and Paladins, we still haven't received official confirmation, but rumors are that those games will not require the Switch Online to be playable online. So yes, there's still certain things that we need information from, but Nintendo seems like they're getting ready to clearly cover this and tell us about what's up with the service. So we'll see. What are your thoughts? I know that, is this enough information? And we're like a month away from the Switch Online finally going live. Are you okay with what Nintendo has released so far or said so far?
So, no, in this sense, right? Online, how they reported it, Caleones, is more for the hardcore gamer. A point that you brought up yourself last week when you said that we needed to have online Nintendo Direct, So, in this case, my concern is with the casuals, with the father who bought a Switch for their boy who's playing Splatoon, and then one day they're going to be like, oh, Dad, I cannot get back online. Then the dad is going to call Nintendo support group, and they'll be like, well, sir, you have to pay for it. And they go, what? So in my opinion, Nintendo needs to do more for those type of people. And maybe a commercial. Start having some commercials and explaining in the commercials, but explain what you're getting with the Nintendo Online. If you spend $20 a year, you're going to get free games, blah, 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 blah. But please remember that to play online, that is required. Sell your online, but at the same time, inform that your online is not gonna be free anymore after the middle of September. That's the only thing that I'm concerned about, Caleones, is the wording. You and I are nerds. We know what's going on in the industry. So right now, you know, it is what it is, Caleones. It is what it is.
Okay, so yeah, hopefully we're gonna get something else on here because we still don't know. I just don't want people, that the first time that they know about the service is whenever they try to access, Splatoon 2 or something like that, and says, "Hey, sorry, you gotta pay for it now." So not everybody is online 24/7 reading on video game news and such. So they need to do a better job giving the information on that. And I direct where once it's announced, there's hundreds of thousands of people or millions of people, watching it. The topics they start trending on Twitter. So I mean, the information goes out there to the masses. So I believe that's what they need to do. Hopefully, once they do it, they're going to talk about certain features they still haven't covered, and maybe there's going to be a couple of good surprises that is going to make the service worthwhile and worth what you're paying for.
Yep, we shall see. I think we both agree on this one, so we're not gonna go through more on this topic. Hopefully, Nintendo will inform better. I guess that's the hope that we both have. So go ahead, Caleones, with the next one.
Okay, well, and the next piece of news, and this is something that I'm really ecstatic for, and I really want to see what happens, is that Bethesda, they announced that Doom Eternal will be coming over to the Nintendo Switch. They made the announcement that it will also be available on PC, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, and that as far as everything that they said, it seems like it will be available at launch for the Switch and all the other systems. So this is what I want to see when it comes to those big third-party games, because I want to get a good measure on how the game does on the Switch compared to those others. Yes, the game won't be looking as good as Xbox One, PS4, or PC, but the portability aspect does give it something different. They had and the other announcement is that Panic Button will be the ones working on the game and translated it to the Switch. And we already know that they did an awesome job when it came to Doom last year. So really looking forward to this, and especially to see how it does among other consoles.
So yeah, the reason I wanted to talk about it in Hot Topics is this is what we've been talking about for over a year, Caleones. The chance to see a game, a big AAA game, released in all three systems at the same time. We'll see if the Nintendo portability power is enough to sway some people from buying Doom Eternal on the PlayStation or Xbox and buy it on the Switch. So it's gonna be interesting. We shall see. I think as soon as when is this coming out, Caleones? They said the date.
Well, they haven't really said the date.
Oh, they haven't really released it. Anyway, when they do say it, let's be aware of it. Let's mark it down, because we really want to see how the industry acts with it. And again, more props to Panic Button. Looks like they're the Switch wizards, because there seems to be the only company that can make AAA games or port AAA games to the Switch. I don't know what they have. What is their secret sauce? But hey, they're making a lot of money right now. Good for them, that's for sure. But hey, congrats, Nintendo fans. This is the time to show if you really want Nintendo to succeed. You want to buy this game on the Switch day one. Companies have been forgiven because you still haven't had a day one game like this. This is your time to prove yourself. Go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, well, going over with the next one, and this is talking about the people that buy the Switch and other consoles.
Okay, so that means that we're done with Hot Topics. Let me clarify.
Yes.
We're done with Hot Topics. Caleones, that was a lot of big news today, but I think it's time to move to Onuma's News Burst. Go ahead, Caleones. I know you're having mod issues right now. So
Yes,
a lot of
just
handling right now.
yeah, just like multitasking right now.
Multitasking right now. But go ahead with the with this. This news is interesting though, and I want to say something really quick. So go ahead, Caleones.
Okay, so well, this one is it's pretty interesting because they were doing a survey, and this comes from the MPD data for June 2018, and they said, I'm going to read the quote from them. According to the MPD's game acquisition monitor, at the end of quarter one, ballpark of 70% of people in the U.S. that owned a Nintendo Switch also owned a PS4 and or an Xbox One. Cross ownership across all three consoles is pretty high compared to prior gens. Each system is differentiated enough that a big chunk of people are into console gaming, own multiple systems. And they did say now arguing primary versus secondary doesn't make any sense. Each box does its own thing and each does it well. So this is something that we were talking about previously. I don't know how long ago, but we said maybe the Nintendo Switch was different enough that it was going to be kind of like the Wii, because when the Wii came out, it was like the perfect secondary console when it came to the to the PS2 and to the Xbox. That you had a Wii
PS3,
alongside those.
PS3 and
Oh,
Xbox
PS3
360.
and Xbox 360. So you had a console alongside those, and that's one of the things that helped them sell over 100 million consoles because. I mean, nobody was seeing it as a direct competitor. It was seen as one of those where, hey, I have this one, but yes, this one's going to look good next to it as well. With the Switch, it might be a little bit different. Yes, when it comes to comparisons of this consoles, the specs and everything, there's no denying that it is very different to the PS4 and the Xbox One. Those are more so competing against each other head to head. But like I said, the portability aspects, the games that have released on the console, and there's third-party games that are selling great on the system as well. So you could argue that this could technically be a primary console when compared to the other ones, but the other ones have been around for close to 5 years now. So that's why. I mean, you can't really talk about who's first or who's second or those.
I could argue that the Switch could never be a primary console, Caleones.
Well, but we're not going to be arguing about that. We're going to be talking about, are you surprised that 70% of the people that own a Switch...
You brought it up, and you tell me not to argue it? Come on, man. The reason I want to argue it is because the Switch doesn't get all the AAA support. That's one. All the third-party support. That's two. And the Switch doesn't have the power to carry a lot of these games. That's three. But I always said that the Switch is a perfect secondary console. And to me, the stats just show you why the Switch is a perfect secondary console. One, you get the great Nintendo exclusives. Two, you get a lot of good third-party, some third-party, that you could take it portable if you feel like you take a lot of trips, you fly a lot, you work a lot. This became more of a system. This is where Nintendo's maybe getting their shit together, Caleones. This is where finally Nintendo is saying, we need to attract the bigger crowd, right, Caleones? And the reason I say that is the adults are the ones going business trips. The adults are the ones that take their systems on the go. So this is a console that helps you as a gamer, a gamer that moves around a lot, could help you sell systems. And the Switch also was always a system that looked attractive even for adults. That's where Nintendo may be switching a little bit their strategy. It is unique enough, and I'm happy for the Switch that it's, hey, you sell how you sell. Who cares? Who gives a crap? But the big part is, Caleones, you're selling the system, but you're selling software. That is the key.
Yeah, I'm just going to say that the Nintendo Switch is undoubtedly the number one handheld in the market right now over the PS4 and the Xbox One. That's my take on it.
Yep. Sure, good for you.
Okay. Well, I want to feel better about this. Come on, I gotta say it.
No, I mean, taste is taste. I mean, you feel that the Switch is your primary console, right? And that's understandable. You're always being a Nintendo fan, and I'm not taking that away from it. There's still 30% of people who are primary a Nintendo Switch gamer. 70% have it basically as a secondary console. But stats back me up on that one. But you see how the Wii use so. But doesn't take away from how good the Switch is. being a secondary console at all, Caleones. The Switch being a great console has taken me away from getting that many plats this year. That's just a perfect example of the good stuff that Nintendo is bringing. So, I mean, good for them.
Yeah, and like I say, like something else that we got to take away from this is that maybe we just need to stop with all the console wars. If they're telling you that now more than ever, people are buying multiple consoles instead of just buying that single one and being an enforcer of that single console. So maybe we just need to stop. Each console has its good things, it has its bad things, but overall, if you want to get the best gaming experience, you probably have to own all of them. And if you can, even if it takes you,
in reality,
yeah, well, this guy.
No, you may need 3 PC. Go ahead, guys. Go with the next one. I'm just messing with you. Go ahead.
Okay, you got a Master Race. You're not forgotten. But yeah, like I said, console wars. That's old news. People own multiple consoles now, and they enjoy them. Maybe not equally, but in their own time. So
okay, go ahead with the next one.
Okay, and the next piece of news is that Panic Button. They're one of the biggest. I guess like companies that bring quality ports over to the Nintendo Switch. They've already done. They were talking about the last one is going to be Doom Eternals, which is going to be coming based on an Amazon listing that nobody has confirmed, perhaps December 28th. Maybe that's when we're going to get it. But they were talking about their Impossible games that they would love to be able to port over to the Switch. And they said that for them, the Impossible game that they would absolutely love to bring over to the Nintendo Switch would be Horizon Zero Dawn. I know that when Dantes read this, he started doing cartwheels and just singing praises and everything because he loves the game. Maybe not as much as God of War, but he loves Horizon Zero Dawn. But
God of War is better. Yeah.
But how do you feel about Panic Button's Impossible game that they would love to bring to the Switch?
So that just gives you some props that Sony's also doing good games. Guerrilla Games, Horizon Zero Dawn was an awesome game. Yeah, it got overshadowed a little bit by Zelda Breath of the Wild, but I don't think it got overshadowed enough that it did not find their own fan base. I mean, the game has sold over 7 million copies, so it's not like something to sneeze about either, right? So I think Horizon Zero Dawn did what they needed to do, being the first time for a new IP. I think the next game is going to sell even better, and I think that just shows you the graphical know-how of Sony developers, and that's where, Panic Button is saying, wow, can we really do something like Horizon Zero Dawn on the Switch? But again, what this tells me more so, Caleones, is one, mad respect for Panic Button that they want to tackle something like this, but two, that my concern with the PlayStation 5 and Xbox 2 or whatever it's called comes out, if the Switch is going to be left in the dust and not get any third-party support for big AAA games, because at that point there's no way in hell that you could, dumb it down to the Switch version. So I don't know, Caleones. I think it's going to be tough. Nintendo does need to come out, in my opinion, with a Switch Pro or their next Switch faster than expected. But we shall see. My props. Love the game. And my respect to Zelda Breath of the Wild 2. Even though both Horizon and Zelda were similar, they were different in their own ways, and they're both succeeded in a tough, crowded market for open world games. You're muted, just in case.
Yeah, I'll say when it comes to the Switch, if we think of it as a console, then we have a hard time thinking that Nintendo's going to come with a new one earlier. But if we think of the Nintendo Switch as a handheld, then yes, I mean, they've done it traditionally all the way back to the original Game Boy, having the different colors for the Game Boy, then with the Game Boy colors, the Advance, the DS, 3DS, so they've always done it with their handhelds. They had new iterations. They had improved iterations or more powerful ones. So that's something that they've always done. And you can perhaps say that they were the first one to do it outside of PC, because PC is always evolving every year. If you want to have a top end, you just have to keep improving over and over and spend a lot of money doing it. With consoles, it's not as like that, because it might For now, we're saying for now because it may change in the future. But for now, I can see it every 2 or 3 years with a new iteration coming out. But traditionally, Nintendo has always done it with their handhelds, and if the Nintendo Switch is a handheld as well, they will be doing it. So that's something that once it happens, people should not be surprised. So yeah, that's what I believe will happen. I think that we'll see it. I don't know. Only thing I'm worried about is the battery life, because battery life is the thing that doesn't really improve as fast as technology itself, and that could be the only thing that helps holds it back. Maybe they could get around with the supplemental the device by having what you need on the dock. Once you take it on the go, then of course it's going to be like low end PC settings versus high end when you have it on the dock. So it that might be the a workaround for now until they can get the battery life improved. But I see them doing it sooner than later.
A couple of things. Dick says Sony and Nintendo needs to stop the war. Dick is a lover, not a fighter. And Cool Drummer saying 2 great games. I agree. Both Zelda Breath of the Wild and Horizon Zero Dawn are great games. And yeah, battery life is key. Great points. I understand that. But I believe, Caleones, that let the consumer make that choice. Yeah, battery life suck. But if you're going to play Doom Eternal, you know that your battery is going to be out in like an hour and a half. And if you're playing Hollow Knight, you know your battery is going to last you 5 hours. So it's almost like what type of games you're taking on the go, and then you decide, well, I'm going to play Doom on the go, then I need to bring a supplemental battery. And in this case, I believe that Nintendo needs to worry less about battery life, more about cooling, because, okay, if you run bigger games in the portable side of it, I believe that your concern is cooling the board down. That's going to be your heat is going to be key more than battery life. But battery life, for me, let the consumer decide what type of games they take. So.
Yeah, and this is the part where if we had a moderator, you would have seen something on the bottom of Dantes' screen saying, those battery life times are not official. He's just saying it to say it. But we don't know. Like, we don't know. As far as we know, 3 hours is probably the most that you can use the Switch, regardless of what type of game it is that you play. But maybe games that are more demanding will use the battery faster. So that's an assumption. But of course, it is something that needs to improve somehow. But please let it be known that Nintendo, what they're doing with the Switch, to me, it's probably the most that they could do with what they have without having you spend $400, $500 on the console because of what's.
I do not agree with that, Caleon. Sorry.
Well, what was I think just to keep it at a consumer friendly price, this type of battery, it's pretty good to what they could have got unless they made the system bigger to battery. That's my take on it.
I do not agree with that in this sense that Nintendo always needs to be the one making money out of their console. So they could put more stuff in their hardware and sell it for the same price. It's just your profit margin is going to be less, Caleones. And other companies have done that in the past because they know software is what makes you the money, right? So Nintendo could have taken that stand, to clarify. Also, Nintendo could have, I understand now why they did all they did on the controllers. Like stuff like Labo shows you the tech that is in the controller. But it's almost like you have to choose, in a sense. You know what I'm saying, Caleones? You choose making those expensive controllers, or you choose making your hardware stronger. And that's where it could pay out, it could not pay out, but it's just decisions that you make when you're designing the system, right? I'm just saying that.
And that's something that hurt the Wii U, because you put so much money on the gamepad where you could have put it into the system itself. Yeah. You could have had more RAM. You could have had maybe like a Blu-ray system. So that's something that hurt the system. And
the bad naming too.
Well, yeah, and the name, of course, because you didn't know if it was an attachment or like an add-on or a new system. But yeah, that's something that money that they put on the controller could have been well spent on the console itself and just done the Pro controller, which would have been a lot cheaper.
Yep, I agree with that. But I'm just saying, I understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying that Nintendo could have done other stuff to make the system a little bit stronger. but that's where the pro may come in. But we shall see. We shall see. Go ahead, Caleones. An hour and 10 minutes in. Now we'll do a rapid fire for sure.
Okay, well, with the next piece of news, this is coming from Patrick Plord. I'm sorry if I ruined your name, but he is the creative director of and vice president of Funhouse at Ubisoft Montreal. He released a tweet where he had a picture of what it seems Shadow Light running on the system, and if you see kind of like on the back of it, there's a page that shows kind of like off light 2. So that's a pretty good indication. This is something that made the rounds on Reset Era and other places. That it seems like it is confirmation that they are working on Shadow of Light 2. And it should not come as a surprise. The game was critically acclaimed. It is kind of using the UbiArt engine, and it is a really pretty engine. It's really good looking. Hopefully, we'll see more Rayman games and things like that. But it seems like that was confirmation of Shadow of Light 2 coming over to the Nintendo Switch and other systems as well.
Okay. The only thing I'm going to say quickly is that shows you're selling software. Money will make people find a way. And they're just looking at it. Maybe they could do it. Maybe they don't. Maybe another panic button. There's another call to panic button. But Panic's like, dude, right now, I don't know. We're a little bit busy. Just saying. So take it easy. I don't know, but it's interesting. I'm happy to hear that companies are trying, at least looking into it and not giving you the EA bullshit answer. Oh, you just cannot do it. At least they're saying we're trying.
Well, and from the other side of things, and this is coming from Ubisoft as well, it is that Ubisoft finally confirmed that Steep is no longer coming over to Nintendo Switch. The development of the game has stopped, and they said to this, we are wholly dedicated to supporting the live game and made the decision to stop Steep development on the Nintendo Switch platform to focus on bringing new live content and challenges to Steep players instead. We'll have more exciting news to share soon. As far as the game itself, and I don't know too much about it, other than it was announced to the Switch. It is available on the other consoles, but I don't think the game has performed well. At least when it comes to sales of the game, they're going to be adding new content to the game, which means that they're trying their best to make the game, to make it worthwhile, make players that already have the game or players that have a console where you can get the game that they can jump in and get it. Even though it was announced originally during the Nintendo presentation back in January of 2016, I believe, I'm not surprised at all that the game is not coming. And at the same time, I'm really not angry or anything because Ubisoft has gone above and beyond when it comes to the Nintendo Switch. They released the great Mario & Rabbids Kingdom Battle game. They're adding Star Fox to the Starlink Battle for Atlas. And they're going to continue bringing other games as well. Like, they just teased, Shadow of Light 2 for the Switch. So I'm not really surprised that it got canceled. And I'm not really hurt or anything that the game's not coming.
Yep. The only thing that this told me, to end the subject quick, the only thing this told me was, well, the game did not sell. We need to bring more content so we can put more microtransactions to the original game and dedicate it on some DLC to recoup our costs. So the Switch version doesn't make sense at this time, which is fine. Again, we can't give crap to Ubisoft. They've done a good job supporting the Switch.
Yeah, and they've done it historically. Every single console, correct. Ubisoft has been the biggest supporter, for the Wii, the Wii U, and now the Switch as well. Well, maybe not the biggest supporter on the Switch, but they've done a great job with the games that they brought over.
Mario and Rabbids, to me, that's just enough. But again, that's where frustration with Nintendo again. Take those IPs that you're not using and give them to other developers that want to do it, right? Again, give to Rocksteady the next Metroid, something like that. I don't know. I'm just joking, but you know what I'm saying. Or Kid Icarus or whatever. Anyway, go ahead, Caleones. Let's go.
Okay, going over with the next one, and this is for all you Pokemon fans. They revealed that Mega Evolutions and more things are going to be coming over to Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee when the game releases in November. So they talked about Mega Evolutions. They talked about exploring the Kanto region the Team Rocket is going to be included on the game as well. And there's a pretty good trailer. Now that you can see those things, you just head over to Nintendo's YouTube channel and the Pokemon channel as well on YouTube, and you can watch those videos. But the game will be coming out on November 16, and that's going to be 3 weeks before the release of Smash. So that's going to be a pretty good 1-2 punch when it comes to November and December. Unless you want to throw in Mario Party in October and say 1-2-3 punch for those. But yeah, it's November 16, and you can expect probably a Nintendo Direct dedicated for Pokemon Let's Go, perhaps maybe the month or a couple of weeks before release itself.
Yep. Go ahead, guys. Not much to say.
Okay, going over with the next one, and this is from the Pokemon Quest Mobile, which is the game the release for free or was free to play on the Nintendo Switch, and it is that on the first month on release, the game has already made $8 million in revenue. So that tells you that, I mean, there's a bunch of Pokemon fans that are dying to have Pokemon on the system. Pokemon Tournament is not enough. They need to have a more, I guess, like traditional, experience. Even though this is not nowhere close to the Pokemon RPGs, but still, people are eating it up. And $8 million on the first month is pretty impressive for a free-to-play game. So, what do you have to say about this?
Cha-ching, cha-ching. Pokemon makes money.
Yeah, it prints money. So, yeah, that's all we gotta say. Next piece of news is that the developers of Rage 2 are looking into the game coming over to the Nintendo Switch, and they're trying to see if it is indeed possible for the game to make it. They did say, in quote, we're looking at the tech on that right now, and we're still evaluating that. We stream everything, and we're just looking because everything is open, everything's available, so there's no level loads. We are looking at that now, but we don't know. So even though this is no confirmation that the game is coming, but it is good news to hear that developers are looking into the Switch. They know that people are buying the system like crazy. Now, especially with the holiday season, you're gonna get more Switches than ever on people's hands. And if Nintendo does meet the forecast of 20 million consoles for fiscal year 2018, that's gonna be over 30 million Nintendo Switches out there in the wild, getting closer to 40 million. So people are going crazy for it, and I'm just happy that developers are looking at it as a viable option to get their games into it. Anything to add, Dantes?
No, I mean, I said my piece during the Doom Eternal. It's the same thing. I'm happy that again companies are looking into it and see if they can do it. Yeah, sometimes they're not gonna be able to do it, but again, they're not giving you the EA shitty excuse, just saying, yeah, it can't. It just doesn't have the power. Well, did you look into it? No, we just know he doesn't have the power. Did you talk to Panic Button? No, we don't do business with them. Okay, so F you. Anyway, go ahead, Karim.
Yeah, I mean, even if you name your son Luigi, it doesn't really mean anything. But yeah, that's
he's a huge fan.
Well, then going over with the next piece of news, and this is that, talking about Square Enix, about Octopath Traveler, and I'm pretty sure this is, I mean, even though it is rapid fire, but for me, it is big news. They said that Octopath Traveler has exceeded their expectations, and that it seems like we can expect more similar Switch games to come in the future. Of course, they haven't said what games specifically we can expect, but I mean, like I always say, I'm always a proponent to get those Super NES and PlayStation 1 games, use the same engine, port them over, or do new experiences with them. So, what's your takeaway from this, Dantes?
No, my takeaway is, no, I think hopefully Square is opening the eyes that not everything needs to be Final Fantasy 15. I said it so many times, and it's a little bit tiresome, but, I'm just happy that that they're maybe looking differently. They may be looking at the Switch differently. But the question is, can they convince their Western developers? Because the next news is basically that their Tomb Raider is not coming to the Switch because, again, they can't, but did they looked at it? I guess that's the question. So, I could foresee this opening up a little bit more games for the Switch from Square, or maybe what this is saying, Kyle, is they're gonna make unique experiences to the Switch more so than port their AAA games. So we shall see. I think both are exciting, but I would prefer unique experiences for the Switch.
Yeah, I mean, like if you talk about Tomb Raider not coming over to the Switch, that's going to be a big blow to the 30% of Nintendo Switch owners that don't own another console. But if you're one of those 70% that you have another, then yeah, you don't need to worry about it. But what should make you happy is, Tomb Raider is going to be on the Xbox One, it's going to be on the PS4, it's going to be on PC. So it is a multi-platform game. Octopath Traveler is an exclusive Nintendo Switch game. It's an exclusive experience only for Nintendo Switch owners. And if we continue to get those experiences on the system, of course, it's going to make people that own the system happier because you get games that only you can play. But at the same time, it's going to make the system more enticing for people that don't own it, and maybe it's going to make it a most owned for them. The other takeaway from this is that yes, they spend a lot of time working on the engine for Octopath Traveler, but they can easily use that engine for Bravely Third. They can use it for older games to port over. So the most amount of money that was spent was on creating the engine, and they no longer have to spend money on that because the engine is already done. And if you can see at developers like Monolith Soft, that they use the same engine on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 that they use for Xenoblade Chronicles X, there's a lot that you can do with the engine, and you have a quick turnaround when it comes to doing new games. So if it only took them 2 years to create Xenoblade Chronicles 2, imagine what Square Enix can do by porting over games that they already know the characters, they already know the stories, they already know the assets, how they look, and they only need to translate it over to this new engine. So this means that Nintendo owners can expect more games and faster, to make it over to the system. So I'm very happy that this game has done as well as it's done, because it opens the door for many more games for Square Enix to make it over to the console.
Alrighty, go ahead with the next one.
Okay, next one, and this is we already glossed it over, which was that Tomb Raider is not coming over to the Switch. This is for the Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it's not. I'm not gonna sit here and cry about it, and it is a game that it seems like to get the full experience of it, you do need like the Xbox One X, you need the PS4 Pro, you need like the PC. Yes, you're gonna get a lower res version on the PS4 and Xbox One, but still, I'm okay. I'm okay with this. Again, I'm someone that already owns the other consoles, so I'm okay. If I want to play the game, I have other ways to play it. Like I said, for those of you that only own a Switch and you want this game, then if you really want to play it, you probably need to go out there and get it and get another system to play it on. But still, it's not unexpected, and it's not something that caught me by surprise.
Yeah, not much to say. I mean, it just depends where you put your development efforts. If you're for Square, like I stated before, I prefer Square trying to get unique experiences on the Switch than this type of game. Could they do this type of game on the Switch? I think so. I mean, this game to me is not that demanding. And more how it looks now. I don't know if you saw the gameplay video. I was like, that looks a little bit rough, honestly. But, and yeah, honestly, also to say about this game, I don't think this game is going to sell. It's coming at a bad time. So, but we shall see. I may be wrong.
Okay, going over with the next piece of news, and this is The Police 2 is going to be coming over to the Nintendo Switch, and it will be releasing on the 25th of September. We've already known that the game is making its way to the Switch, but it does have an official release date, which will be on the 25th. I went ahead and requested the review code for it, so maybe if I get it, I could do some sort of coverage for the channel, and so you guys can see it hopefully before the game releases, and maybe get a good glimpse of it if it's a most owned. But yeah, the first one is available. Second one on the 25th of September will be out. And going over with the last piece of news, and this is The World Ends With You final remix, will be coming over to the Switch on the 12th of October. So it
Hell
has
yeah.
received an official release date, and I believe you will be getting this one.
Yes.
Dantes.
Yes, sir. I
yeah,
missed
so
it on the 3DS. Everybody said that was one of the last great RPGs from Square. So I'm really interested in the Switch. Full HD, Caleones. Count me in, bro.
Yeah, and I'll definitely be putting my hands on it as well. So you guys can expect to see something on our channel. Hopefully, something that I want to do, and I want to find the right way to do it. And of course, what happened with IGN has given me inspiration on doing video reviews for our channel. So yeah, I mean, we'll see if we can do that for
I'm in
for some
reverse,
games.
giving me less inspiration of doing review. Everybody does reviews. We're trying to do something a little bit different, I guess you could put it that way. We're streaming and podcasts like everybody doesn't do that too. But anyway, well, we shall see. No, this is game exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. It just adds to the backlog. Is the only sad part. But I want to buy it day one because I want to support it. But yeah, I want to at least play Octopath Traveler first, and then I'll probably get into this one. So.
And well, this is it, Dantes. No
Thank
more.
you,
No more.
Caleones. Big news. I mean, we're 1 hour and 26 minutes in. You know when the show is big, when we go over 1 hour mark. But with that said, Caleones, it's time to move. So tell me, Caleones, what are the hottest games that came to our favorite store, and which is that store?
It is the Shigeru Supermarket.
Press the right button today, so doing good. Okay, Caleones, go ahead with the first
Well,
one.
man, and before I go over to the games, you were talking about The World Ends With You and your backlog. So something that you can expect, and this is coming from the howlongtobeat.com website. It states that the main story of the game will be 25 hours. The main story plus extras is going to be 47 and a half hours.
Not bad.
And for those of you that are completionists and wants to 100% the game, it'll take you roughly 135 hours.
I think I'll stick on that one. Those type of games, I'll stick on like 20 so hours just to play the missions and maybe some side stuff. So I'm not doing 100% on the Switch. You're not giving me a reason, Nintendo, to do it. So.
Well, I mean, you almost did it twice on Breath of the Wild, but well,
No, wait. I did it on Breath of the Wild.
Oh, you finally cut all 900 card seed on the second playthrough?
Oh no! Oh yeah, you said. Oh yeah, I did it the first time. I'm sorry. You said close to doing two twice. Okay, my bad.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
good.
but that's all over 300 hours.
Yeah, I know. Not as much as Xenoblade right now, which is on 380. But okay.
Okay, but talking about the games, and this is the game list for that has received released on the Nintendo Switch on the past week, and they are Loot Monkey Bling Palace, Super Blackjack Battle 2 Turbo Edition, The Card Warriors, Slam Land, In Between, Flipping Dead, Dead Cells, Unexplored, The Amazing Shinsegumi, Heroes in Love, Subara City, Shut Eye, Okami HD, Minute, Megaton Rainfall, Flip Over Frog, Dragon Ball Fighters, but this was the open beta, and I did try it. It was running pretty good, but we'll see once the official game releases. But hopefully you guys got to enjoy it. Blood Arcade Archives Kids Here. It sounds pretty weird, but Kids Horror Daisakusen. Akan Neo Geo's Metal Slug 4, Tiny Hands Adventure, Tetris Escape, Nightmares from the Deep 2, The Siren's Call, Mini Metro, and Overcooked 2, and Dantes. Yes, there's a couple of games that some people may not know, but this was actually a pretty good week of releases with games like Dead Cells, Okami HD, and Overcooked 2 releasing for the system. So,
what's your game of the week?
My game of the week, I actually gave the nod to Dead Cells because it is a new release. Okami HD, it is the HD version of the game. Overcooked 2, of course, is another great game. And you've been playing the game. You said that you've been playing it with your son. What's your experience so far with Overcooked 2?
It's good. It's good. I mean, it's a lot of things to keep up with. It's gonna be interesting when you and I play it because My son tends to be faster than me because he's younger, so his reflexes are faster, and I'm slow as hell.
And hello, Dantes the gamer. Just came into the chat right now.
Yeah, so it's funny, you know. He does way better than I do. I can only keep up with like 2 to 3 tasks, and he can keep up with 7. So that's just saying that I'm old. But since you're old too, Caleones, we shall see 2 old people keeping up with the task on Overcooked 2. I think it's gonna be funny. It's gonna be exciting to play it on a Saturday. So we'll finish our way out. Our way out did not do the numbers that I wanted. So to clarify, so we're fucks. So next week we'll finish the game no matter what, and we're done with our way out just to finish the walkthrough at least of that one. And then we'll get into Overcooked or go back to Uncharted because Uncharted is being delivering on good numbers too. So I may bring my brother Roger into the equation for that and have 3 players at the same time play Uncharted. So look forward to that. We may have some more Uncharted excitement on Saturdays. So
okay, but my question to you is, you've never played Okami, correct?
I have never played Okami, and I do want to play it, so that's on my backlog too. I'm gonna buy it on PlayStation 4 because of trophies, but yeah, I wanna play it, yes, and that's one of the greatest games of all time, basically what I've heard. So I do need to give it time and somehow play that game, right? Because when you talk about Okami and you describe it, it's like a perfect Dantes game, and I think I want to play it. So we shall see, Caleones. We shall see. But to me, game of the week is Overcooked 2. Yours is Dead Cells, correct? So I think with that, that's a good week. Good three games that we played this week. Now, before we go though, let's end something quick. Yo, what's up, Force? What up, Cruz? Let me see. I haven't seen the chat for a while. Everybody's talking. What is their Smash characters gonna be like? Anyway, but
yeah, Cruz Madrid just said that Crash for Smash.
Crash for Smash. Yes. Crash should be in Smash. I love Crash. I platted all 3 games. Of course, tough task, but you know me. But just one quick thing. So we talk about Dead Cells. I want to bring it up just to end the podcast with that. How do you feel about the Philip Musum issue? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody make money out of it. But how do you feel about it? We should talk. But the reason I want to talk about it at the end because we didn't make the main focus of the shows. He's a Nintendo podcaster, right? He's a Nintendo. He's from the Nintendo.
Was.
Well, he is. He's back to his channel. His channel was Flip Switch or whatever his name the channel was. But yes, he was a Nintendo podcaster. He's got fired from IGN. And so it's good to talk about it. So how do you feel about the accusations that Boomstick Gaming brought to the equation, which ended up basically exposing what happened, and then of course led to Philip losing his job at IGN?
Okay. One of the things, or the biggest things, is that when it comes to journalists, when it comes to writers, when it comes to to us and to some extent, plagiarism is like the kiss of death. If you do that, that's going to be it. You're going to lose credibility. Don't really expect other company to scoop you up and hire you because you're going to be, it's like you have that bad odor that's never going to go away. So everybody's going to be wanting to have you, at a distance and not close by. From what was said before, at first, I didn't know any of the details, so I was like, well, people like to accuse other people and say, hey, I did it first, and whatever. So I went into it with a clear mind. Then I saw the video of the explanations, and it was pretty clear that yes, he did it. It was his first edited video review for IGN, and it seems like either he didn't know what to write for the video review, or he just waited to the end to release it. I think the embargo for the video reviews had opened like a week before, so he released his video review late, like a week after. And when it comes to IGN, you pretty much expect them to be on point when it comes to, and the embargo opens and they boom have the review, video review ready to get the most viewership on there. So by him releasing it a week late, it kind of tells you that he wasn't really ready for it. I was I gave him the benefit of the doubt because it was his first one. But then when you look into the content and you look at what he did and what he took away from the other one, it was blatant. And IGN, it is a big corporation. They're not just about one single editor or writer or person, and it was okay for them to go ahead and let go. Something I will add is that later on, people starting looking into his work more, and it seems like when it came to FIFA 18, that's another one that it seems like he also plagiarized from somebody else. So it wasn't the first time that he did it, but because this one exploded, it exposed him to having other people look into his work and finding out that he had done it before. So I believe IGN did the correct thing. But for people out there, don't judge IGN for it. You may agree with them, you may disagree on certain things that they say or do, but it is not their fault. That was that person, that singular person that was responsible for it, and not IGN. So, what's your take on this?
Okay, I agree mostly what you say. I mean, he messed up. He did the unthinkable on the as a journalist, right? As a game professional on the biggest site for video games news, which it is still the biggest site, but I think has lost a lot. It is not as good as it used to be. Let me put it that way. But I will say this though. And let me clarify. I have completely against what he did. But let me say something quick. Some people has taken this like, oh my God, like he almost killed their mom. And people have been attacking family members of his and stuff like that. That's wrong. He was found guilty. The corporation did the right thing. It's over, done with. Move your efforts to maybe something else more important in the world right now. That a lot of bad shit is going on. Then keep attacking this guy, because some people like to kick when people are down. He's already down. He's dead. He's buried. Let him be. Let him go in his world. Let's see what he does. If he needs to work in food lockers or whatever, he has to find money because he has a family. So just give him a break on that sense. It's over. It's done. The accusations came through. You people spoke. IGN listened, and then he got fired. It should be done. It's over. Now back to this. He did not help himself with that shitty apology video. That was one of the worst apology videos that I've seen of all time. His video should have been 2 seconds. I messed up. I would have said it this way. I'm sorry for the bad language. I'll say, I fucked up. I apologize. I apologize, Boomstick Gaming. I apologize to everybody who I have offended with my actions. I apologize to IGN for putting their trust on me, and I misplaced that trust. I will work hard, and I will work my ass off to regain the trust from you, my fans, and I am gonna work my ass off to recreate my fan base. Look for me here going forward. I love games, and end it there or somewhere like those lines. I don't know, Caleones. That's it. But he kind of did not took blame really well on that video. That was awful video. So it doesn't help him, right? Yeah, I know he's down. He's getting his ass kicked while he's down. Didn't help himself with that video. So I see both sides, but everything I'm saying is still, even though he's down, move on. Don't waste so much energy. He doesn't deserve to waste your energy on him. He's done. So, and more with that shitty apology video that he had to take down. So at the end, I want to summarize it this way. He did something wrong, completely wrong. He was discovered. IGN did the right thing. He got let go. He paid the price, and that is it. Does it hurt IGN's image? It does hurt a little bit. I mean, there's always going to be people out there that say that they get paid for reviews and stuff like that. But at the same time, it is what it is. It is messed up. All corporations go through something like that. You messed up, you break the rules, you get fired. That's capitalism for you right there. So, we shall see, Caleones. I don't know what he's going to do next, but he needs to come out. If I was him, I would lay low for months, come back with a new apology video. Say, after a long time of reflection, I felt that I messed up, and then just leave it there, and then start over. That would be, if I was his, that's what I would have done. But that's it, Caleones?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Nothing else that we need to say about this. Hopefully he won't take viewers away from us. That's the extent of it. So, but we're done with it.
We're not. He got like 60,000. How you call it? Subscribers. Trust me, he's fine. Anyway.
Or maybe you can get some of his. Maybe
yeah. Well, we're not Boomstick Gaming, who grew up like he was 11,000 subscribers. Now he's like 40 or 50. I don't know how many he has now. But anyway, with that said, boom. Let's put that Xenoblade music and end the show by saying thanks everybody who stopped by and watched the latest episode of the Get In and Get Out Nintendo podcast, episode 56, right here at the Force In Unison Gaming channel. Please remember to subscribe, like, and comment so you can make these two crazy mother effers happy. Also remember, if you don't want to see ugly faces, we got a solution for you. Go to SoundCloud and iTunes and download this podcast for free. Rate us over there so you can show up some love. Also, go to the description box below so you can see the full channel schedule. Remember, tomorrow, PlayStation Mondays, where I'll be playing more God of War. Seems God of War was pretty good last week, so we may see if we can keep some momentum going. So I may be playing some God of War, but of course on Wednesdays, Nintendo Wednesdays. Fridays, Fortnite Fridays, and Saturdays, of course, Force In Unison streams. Also, go to our Facebook page at Force In Unison Gaming. And finally, and Dantes says finally, go to forceinunison.wordpress.com and get some clicks and love to my boy Caleones. With all that said, thank you again for joining us, and long live Nintendo. See you guys.